Yeah, yeah, and I think not many people have a clear understanding of guilt and shame. They kind of
Mm.
go hand in hand, but they're different at the same time. Um, we were chatting about it today, and guilt is a behavior, it's something we do. It's something that we can learn. It's helpful because we can learn from it. When we're feeling guilty, maybe a bit down about ourselves, we've done something that maybe we would like to have done differently. So that it's helpful because it's an emotion that we can then lean into and learn some lessons. I mean, all emotions I believe are helpful, but shame has a different feel about it. It's more of an
Mm.
attack on who we are, an attack on your self-worth, and it screams that you're not good enough or we're not good enough. And its roots come from such subtle misinterpretations and misguided connections or sharing of energy. And basically what I'm trying to say is, it starts in our childhood when our parents, I've said it a few times on different shows, starts when our parents, if we're feeling sad. So as an example, Ridiculous, I'm feeling sad and you as a well-intended parent want me to feel better. And so you kind of say to me, oh, don't feel sad.
It's,
You could,
you'll
what's
be
that?
okay.
You'll be
It's
okay.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is to most of us, it's a loving thing to say. You're accepting, feel what they're going through, but we're not really. When we say that, the subtlety in it is that you're actually denying that child's reality and telling them your feelings are not to be trusted. Listen to me instead. Feel something else. Now, this plays out so much in our life, and it plays out everywhere. I mean, the media is rife on it at the moment, and it feeds into gaslighting. It feeds into this feeling of we're crazy. And there's always this gnawing sense of something that's just not right about us, about who we are, and about everything that we do. And it's scary as hell because you can't quite put your finger on it. You know it's there. We all feel it. We've all felt it because it's so subtle. And we were talking about it today, Ridiculous, in that I feel like when I think about this, the external perception says, you've had such an amazing life, white privilege, living in Australia. And I have, and I'm so grateful for my life and I'm so very blessed. But at the same time, that's no excuse to deny these hidden parts of our mind, which really drive all self-sabotage. And the problem with, or the thing about shame is when we are shamed, and it can be something so subtle as like, oh, why are you wearing those shoes? Or why do you keep going for that kind of romantic partner? Or why are you hanging out with those friends? Why do you keep hanging out with those friends? These kinds of things that we say to each other when we're just trying to help each other see something different, but we're denying their reality and telling them that they're not good enough until you're doing what I think you should be doing, or feeling what I think you should be feeling.
Yeah, and then it continues on in your life, and then you start, right, it's not the parents or other people telling you that, then it's you telling yourself that. You just continue the conversation, the voices in your head, you just keep going on and on and on.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, good little example is Alex is sitting on the floor playing with his blocks, and then all of a sudden he gets really frustrated with it. Or his brother walks past and kicks the stuff. And, as a parent, you turn around and you say, and tell the brother that kicked them is wrong, did something wrong, and then Alex is getting upset and saying, it's okay, don't worry about it. Just leave it, let it go. But, we're not identifying with the relationship and the emotion there, and we're also not really allowing the actions to be spoken out. As parents, all you really want to do is you do things to make us feel, as a parent, to make us feel right. And I don't think that's any different. Even when you're not a parent, you're doing things and you actually say things. You're saying things to make you feel okay with the situation, the relationship, or the whatever is going on at work or whatever. You're constantly making yourself feel okay without even realizing what you're doing to yourself.
Yeah. Well, the subtle side from the parent's point of view is that you're getting a reflection of your childhood in your child, and you react to that memory. And so you're actually telling yourself, you're continuing that conversation but you're saying it to your child. You're saying it to yourself. Don't feel that, because most of the time, you know, if our kids are crying, like how many people are triggered by crying kids?
Yeah,
it's really triggering. And especially like you think about it on flights, how many people get angry? It's like you see red, don't you? And it's because, you know, we're getting a reflection and replaying a memory of our own childhood where all this stuff was playing out and none of us knew it was happening. And so your side of that is sort of telling yourself to not be feeling what you're feeling. So it just creates more of it. And that's why I say it's hidden. We don't know it's even happening. We think we're doing the right thing. We think we're doing our best. And we are in that moment with the knowledge that we've got. But now understanding this, it helps us shift into allowing people to just have their expression and get curious about it. We're always talking about, you know, tactical empathy or, you know, extreme empathy, which is not taking somebody else's emotion personally, which if we do that, then we're either going to deny what they're feeling or we're going to tell them to feel something else because it's too painful for us to be in there with them. So we're going to try and persuade them to see our point of view instead of getting in their point of view with them and helping them understand it, and both of you can have a healing. So this is how this subtle thing plays out, and that's where we're looking to head towards, you know, sometime in the future when shame is not something that is our normal anymore, when we can actually just get curious and loving and compassionate towards people who used to trigger us and situations that did used to trigger us. Brene Brown talks about this. It's living wholeheartedly. You know, when we do that, and we've had a show about this, when we can do that, we become invulnerable because we are vulnerable, because we know that we have seen this in ourselves, so we can hold space for that in somebody else rather than it being a reactive situation where we're just butting heads and playing out a control drama, trying to get each other to submit to what you think or what I think. It can be a collaboration in that collaborative space, which is what we're about here. Not competing, but collaborating.